What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the Venom Let There Be Carnage Carnage. So let's see what we've got going on. Let's check it out. As promised, today we'll be taking a look at Carnage. Let's see what we've got going on. Taking a look at the package, we are in a modified version of this newer squared off packaging. I'm liking it. I'm digging the vibe. I think it'll give a good uniform sort of look to boxes. Not that I care. Why do I care? I throw these things away. But for those of you who collect in box, I think maybe that's something good for you. I don't know. Let me know. Marvel's Carnage, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. That was the movie. You may have seen it. Marvel Legends series. There's a logo at the top. Flip it to the side. A little bit of image from the movie inspired design. Right, there's another nice bigger image on the back there. You got some important information at the bottom. Flip it to that side. It's empty. Let's get them out of the box. Fresh out of the box, this thing is a beast just in sheer size. Without even getting to the size comparison portion of the video yet, I mean, you can tell this guy's big. We already knew it was, but it is certainly a sight to behold in hand here. So, as you can see, I didn't even put the tendrils on the turntable there. Just not enough space. This guy's taken up a lot already. Got some good accessories, got an extra head, so I like that start to this so far. Let's take a closer look. Moving in closer, we can get a good look at this first head sculpt. You can see a great amount of detail packed in there. Really nice looking eyes. They've got that sort of pearlescent white to them. Always a fan when they use that. I think it just adds such a nice layer of depth and just overall aesthetic to the figure. We've got some great black overlay on top of the red here. I think that adds a nice element. However, they did manage to just forget most of the back of the figure, so weird decision. All right, good design in here. You can see a lot of extra molded elements on the arms of the Carnage figure, so that really adds a nice design element as well. Good color all throughout. This red really pops, really grabs the essence. This is a great looking Carnage, like no matter how you go about it. It's going to look good on the movie figure shelf. So whether you're collecting Marvel Legends or just collecting movie figures, this is certainly one that I think is going to add a nice element, at least to my shelf. Here's a look at your alternate head, which just looks maniacal. It's insane. I love it. There's a lot going on here. This tongue is just gnarly. You've got great looking elements on each side here. The squinted sort of eye going on there. A lot to like. I am impressed with this figure. I've kind of gotten away from collecting specifically MCU, but even just like movie figures in general, right? And by extension, Sony-verse figures, sure. So I was on the fence of whether or not I was going to actually grab this, but a lot of pictures looked really good, so wanted to certainly take a look at this, and I'm pleased. I'm happy with it thus far. For your hands, you do get your open set of hands, and then you've got your effect hands. So they've put the black on the larger blade. On the smaller blade with like the open hand, you only get it on one side. I would like to see it on both sides. That would be my only critique about that there. Kind of odd that they didn't include it on both sides, being that like in a lot of cases this is going to be the part that is facing outward, so it would have been nice to have seen the paint on this hand as well. You have your three sets of tendrils. One is a single piece, the other two are split into two-piece part here, so they all have their port on the back. They'll port right into the figure and they'll look pretty good. So it gives you a little bit of option, and they are on a bendy wire, so you can move them however you'd like. Let's take a look at that. As I said, they will port right in. It doesn't look like there's any specific way that you have to do this. I think it's just going to make more sense to have your single tendril at the bottom, and then your other ones at the top there. So yeah, you can see you get those tendrils in there. You can bend them any which way you'd like. I mean, they absolutely should be doing this bendy wire thing in any situation that would call for it. This is great. Gives you plenty of opportunity to display things how you want. Certainly, they are just in the plain red, so they don't really get any depth to them. Maybe a little of the black paint splattered in there would have been a nice touch. I do think that kind of takes away from it, but other than that, I mean, having the bendy wire effect really does elevate what you're able to do with that. So as far as your articulation goes, chin will touch the chest almost. So you can certainly get it there, but naturally it won't rest there. He'll look up about that high, so you get a pretty good angle. No complaints there. Plenty of movement all the way around. You have that sort of double ball in there, that dumbbell, right? So it definitely gives you absolute maximum range for the head there. Arm will go all the way around. It will go up to only about there. You do have your upper bicep cut, and you are double jointed, pinless at the elbow. Nothing at the forearm, and then your hinge and swivel at the wrist. Plenty of movement there. In the diaphragm, you do have that excellent dumbbell, so you get all of that great upper torso movement mixed with your ab crunch down at the bottom. So plenty of possibility for movement and display ability there. Nothing at the hip because you don't need that swivel. And then the leg will kick out to about there, back only to about there, and then out to right about there. Upper thigh cut, double jointed pinless at the knee, nothing at the calf, and then your hinge and swivel at the ankle. It's a little tight down there, so make sure you warm it up, but there you go. A little bit of a gap in the back there, nothing too bad. And as you can see, plenty of movement all the way around. For a big guy, lots of movement, so that's great. For your size comparison, here he is backed up against your Venom, a previous release. Not the newer version that's coming out, but that's going to be effectively the same figure. So that gives you a good idea of the height comparison here. Venom's already a pretty large character, right? So you can just see how much... I mean, this Carnage is towering over some figures. Let's take a look at some other figures just for perspective. Here he is backed up against the retro-carded Carnage from Target. This would be the same as your Venom pool. Gives you an idea. I mean, look, like this Carnage only comes up to about the middle of the back on your movie Carnage here. So it's a pretty sizable figure. And then here he is backed up against your Deadpool. So this would be the 2-pack version. The more recent one is right behind there. So again, just dominating, just towering over any of your other figures. So it's going to look pretty good. It's going to definitely have a presence on the shelf. I think that kind of is the idea, especially if you're kind of going for the Venom versus Carnage situation, right? So I like where this is headed. For one last comparison, here he is backed up against your Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. So Amazing Spider-Man. I mean, who knows where the Sonyverse is going if we ever get any more of the Tobey or Andrew movies. And who knows? I don't know what's going on. No one does. All right, folks. Well, there you have it. There is your Carnage from the movie Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Pretty good figure. A lot going on. Lots to like about it. Would have loved to have seen the red paint put in a few other areas. The amount that they did, it's kind of weird that they left it off where they did. So just seems like a quick, easy cop-out. So would have really been good to see the extra detail just put in. And it would have made all the difference, right? Other than that, though, it is a pretty great-looking figure. I certainly will forget about this once it's facing forward, right? It's just those minor things, though, that do make a lot of difference. Great looking head sculpts all around. Great hand accessories. do love the fact that we got, two sets of hands, one set that is sort of powered up version, and then one more regular version. Head sculpts look great. Love this one. This really captures a lot of the essence there. So certainly excited about how that is going to look in the collection. Would love to hear your thoughts about this figure. It is just such a towering, domineering figure. It is going to have a presence on the shelf, and that is certainly one of the things that really elevate a figure when it comes to the display. So love to hear your thoughts about it down in the comments below. That was the 2 cents. Do what you want with that information. I certainly appreciate you coming and checking out the video. Hopefully you got something out of this. Hopefully you enjoyed it. But you can always find me on any of these socials down here. Most importantly, though, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe below. And until next time, take it easy.